Hello everyone, it's Robin Dudley House, the Artsy Bohemian. I'm coming back to you with this tutorial as I had promised. It's on making a really cool envelope, accordion envelope, that you can either add as an insert to your existing journals or you can just use it on its own. It's almost kind of like its own little journal tuck spot thing. So just in case you haven't seen, this is what I'm basing it on, and also from a wonderful gal on YouTube. I'll leave the link down below. I believe it's JoyJunktique, and she really has an eye for the types of crafts that we like. If you like what I do, you probably love what she does, and maybe subscribe to her channel too. She doesn't have a huge following yet, but I have a feeling she will at some point. She's really good. So I'm going to just show you what I do. Here's a couple of different ones. This one I didn't finish, and this one I did. You can see the video before on the full flip through of this. What you want is some envelopes, and it's probably good to try to get the kind that have the little points here, like a traditional envelope like this, just because when we make the outside flap for the top of the whole bundle of envelopes, you can make this really cool little closure, and it acts as a pocket, and you put little eyelets in there, and it's just so cute. So what you'll want to do is, I got these from the Dollar Tree or Dollar General, and I know it's different for everybody in the world, but I think these are fairly standard. 6 3/4 by 3 5/8. I tea-dyed mine, so you'll want to do that if you like that look. And I'm going to use 4 or 5 of these. I might just do 4. I'm tempted to do 5. That's just more decorating though. So yeah, go ahead and dye those, and they'll kind of come apart a little bit, but that's okay. You can re-glue them. And you do want one of them, the very first one that we'll be using for the topper, you do want it to completely fall apart, because we're going to be folding it, and I'll show you how I did that. And I'm just following what the other gal did in her video tutorial. So let's go ahead and start, and then I'll show you as I go along what I'm going to be using to decorate it. I'm going to try to keep to the same items that I used on the other one, just not to overcomplicate it, because I have a tendency to try to do something completely different. And yeah, so what you're going to do is, when you dye these, if it's possible, you're going to dry them. You're going to dye them and then dry them. Before they get too dry, you should be able to take apart the envelope. So it will look like that. And then just very gently take it apart. And like some of these already fell apart, so you might not even have to wait. Like, look, maybe you don't even have to wait. You can just wait till it's dry and then take it apart. And then what you're going to do is, you're going to, so it'll look like this. You're going to take them apart like this, and you're going to take these two flaps and bring them towards the front, so you have the points here. And this will be the other side. So once you have that done, you are going to take a little bit of glue and glue this down. Like that. You don't want to glue it to the inside. It's going to be open, because we're going to be using this as a tuck. And then you're going to take, if you can think of it as front and back, so we're going to take the front and glue this down here. Just make sure they're lined up and that you can still bend it. back a little bit. So you have that one. And then you're going to take this one. Since this was the front, now we're going to take the back. And glue that down. And these envelopes are kind of cool because they have this hatch, these hatch marks in them, which is kind of a cool design. And since this one was the front, I'm going to go towards the back again on this one. And I think I'll just do 4. We'll go like that. Oops, I kind of messed up on this one. Let's see, which one is that? Oh well, I'll just have to fix it. I didn't glue it close enough. It's a little bit wonky, but I can just re-glue that, I think. Okay, so it should look like this. There's 4 of them, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that, when it's closed up, and we'll continue on. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to figure out what you want to put on your piece. So I found this doily thing, and I thought it would be so pretty. Look at how gorgeous that looks. So I'm going to be cutting. I cut the first one, and what I did was I found out where I should cut it by doing this. Kind of looking at this and finding where it ends. I made a snip right there. I folded it in half and I cut it straight across from that snip. So now that I have this as a pattern, I can use this and cut it along this line. So now I have the 2 pieces. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just tack it down in a couple places with some hot glue, and then I'm going to cover the rest with regular glue and let it dry before I put the eyelets in. I just wouldn't add hot glue where you're going to put the eyelet in because that'll be a little bit difficult. So what I mean by tacking it down is I really made sure that everything looked pretty symmetric before I did that. I'm going to have to redo this here. And then I am taking a little bit of hot glue, just a little bit, and pushing it down in just a couple of spots. Just a tiny, tiny bit. And then I'm going to go in there and under all the other pieces and just glue it down with some regular glue. It's all dry. And I placed 2 holes with my crocodile in the tips here. And I'm going to go ahead and add these eyelets. And then squish them, or you can use a hammer. So now I'm going to open this up. I'm not going to add anything to this just yet. Like this. And I want to start working on each one of these, putting pockets or adding laces or adding more paper. So what I thought, because this is not even, it didn't line up right, so that's okay. I'm going to take some trim and I'm going to add it to it. But before I do that, I wanted to figure out what I was going to put in the center, and I'm going to add this to the center. So I don't need to add a full length. I'm just going to cut it where it looks like it'll be won't be covered. Let's see if this works, and I'll do that on both sides. Let me see. This is going to go like that. Yeah, so I'm going to cut 2 pieces and add them to the sides here. And then I might do it up here too. Probably will. And I'm just going to use regular glue. Now I've cut out papers that I'm going to use to line everything. So I'm going to line this here, and then this is going to be a pocket, so I'm just going to glue it on the edges, 3 sides, and there'll be 2 pockets. So a pocket here and a pocket here, and then this one's just going to go down like this, and I'll probably put some lace on here for another pocket, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do over here. But that's the first thing we're going to do. This isn't how I normally work. I'm very erratic, but I'm trying to be very logical and methodical, so it's a little bit easier, because I know when I first saw one of the tutorials on how to do this, they were all over the place, and so I'm just going to try to break it down one side and then do the other side, and then we can decorate. So I'm going to glue these and I'll be right back. Alright, so here is what it looks like. I'll just kind of show you. This is the front that we did, and then here's that part. I added some cheesecloth underneath her, and I'm going to scratch her up a little bit. She's a little bit too perfect looking. And here's the other piece of paper that I glued down. Oh, what's going on with my... There we go. And here's a pocket. Like that, and then here's a pocket. And then this one is just glued down, and we'll be adding some decoration to that. So I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing. Okay, so I just added some paper here and a piece of lace for a pocket, and I'm doing a little, so I thought I would show you this, a little collage with just some snippets of lace and trims, and these are from, I think they're from Sampool, and I just kind of dirtied them up and layered them, and I did some rubber stamping with this pretty blush blossom color from Stampin' Up. So it just gives it just a little bit, I don't know if you can see it, of color and a background. And then I'm going to use the rubber stamp that I got from Red Lead. It's the first time I'm using her. She's so cute. She has a little doll. Cute! Isn't that cute? And then I will be doing one more thing over here. Actually, it's going to go this way. And then we'll start adding some stuff into our pockets. So I've been working along, and I thought I better stop and show you what I've done. It's almost done, I think. So I added this really beautiful silk ribbon. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, I can't use that because it's too good, but you got to use the good stuff when you got too much, right? So I added this, and it's going to wrap around twice, but I'm not going to do that just right now. And I love this saying, those who don't believe in magic will never find it. This is from Cinnamon Creek Folk Art. Oops, I just burnt my foot. And I just backed it on some tea-dyed paper so it could be a journaling card. So that looks really pretty there. It kind of goes with the same colors that I love using for these journal little envelopes. And I added a little bit more cheesecloth, and I distressed her and then kind of colored it in with some brown ink. And this is also from Cinnamon Creek. You can see there's like a certain look that she has. Just love it. And they're already kind of distressed, but I print them on some tea-dyed paper as well, and she suggests that. And I'm probably going to distress this a little bit, but this would be a nice journaling card as well. It slips right in there. And this one on the top here, I'm going to be adding like a piece of lace. Still haven't done that yet. And I added a little cluster here. Just bunched up some see-through fabrics and cheesecloth, and then scrunched up a little piece of sari silk and sewed it really quickly, and then glued that down. Here's another one of those cute little old-fashioned tally books. It has a tally on the back. And I just put some paper in there so it could be a little writing surface journal. Made little pockets here. This is, you know, these are some things that I've made ahead of time, and I just have stuff, so sometimes they work out, you know, so you don't have to make new things. And I love her. She's also from Cinnamon Creek. Seems like because was on a binge using her digitals because I had cut some of them out. And I just loosely glued her to some tea dyed paper and folded it, and then I made a little tuck spot. And again, Cinnamon Creek. I'll put the link down below. And this is also Cinnamon Creek. I'm going to be putting this here probably. Either I'm gonna, actually I think I have to put a piece of lace here or some kind of pocket. So this is one of the other things I showed you in the last video. Using Sampool vintage style sample cards. I don't know, they might be like her originals. Maybe she found them because she lives in England, and then she sells them as digitals, and I just love them. And I added some old paper here, and then some scraps of fabric that can be taken off because I put a hidden paper clip on there. And I wanted to show you that I'm going to be sewing this little booklet in, and you can skip this part if you don't want to watch it, but I'm just going to be doing a it's called a back stitch, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and poke a hole in here, and I might speed through this, so I'll show you a couple of stitches and then move on. Oops, what did I just do? Oh, no wonder. Okay. And pull it through. For something like this, you can go ahead and poke all the holes if you want to, but I'm just kind of winging it and just doing it. And I'm just using a tapestry needle. It doesn't have a sharp point, but it has a big enough eye to hold 6 strands of floss. So once you have those basic stitches in, then you're going to go back and just kind of gently pull this, and then you're going to go back in the same hole so it looks like a nice little stitch. See that? And over here. just going to tie it off. And maybe I'll make them dangle and put some beads on them. So you have a nice little booklet right there. I love that. And then on the back side, I added a postcard that I made. This is a copy of a postcard that I actually have, and I used a cracker box and glued it to the other side, and then stamped it with my postcard stamp. And I love this little collage here. I added a pocket here, and I think I'm going to be putting a lace, or actually that might work right there, a lace. Oh, I think I'll do that. Maybe I'll just use that. I'll probably make another lace bobbin thing to put over on this side. And I just have to do one more pocket right here. So let's see, maybe I'll just do, I'm just going to make a pocket out of, that'll be pretty. So I'll come back and show you, and it'll probably be done. Alright, so look at how cute the bow looks. I had to be careful because when you're making these, the envelopes, you know, they're kind of thin, so you have to be careful. And I pulled it too tight at one point because I was tying the bow too tight. So just, you know, when you're making them, they're a little bit delicate. I put a bulb pin with an old looking Eiffel Tower, and you already saw that. So I'm going to open the front and show you what I added. So anyway, so that here is the wide lace here, and the tag, and a snippet of fabric. And I added this. This is also from Cinnamon Creek. Just made it into a little something to write in or paint something, or in our little book. And then this other wide piece of lace that acts as a pocket. And these are just some little envelopes that I made with the Tim Holtz die, and I just added little snippets in there. And then the other side, oops, this keeps falling out. I added this strip here. Darn it, I keep messing that up there. And some really pretty old lace right there. And I decided to go ahead and use this fabric snippet thing in this little pocket there. And just added another little thing that you can add to a journal. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, let me know. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. You know, hit the thumbs up if you liked it. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.